Hi.
Hello. This time we are reviewing this German series called Biohackers, which is thriller.
It's ballpark 12 episodes across two seasons, each episode about 40-45 minutes. So yeah, pretty quick to watch if you get into it, as we did.
Yeah.
And it stars Luna Wedler in a key role as a young student enrolling in the University of Freiburg, a small, picturesque German town. And there she enrolls in Jessica Schwartz's classes. Jessica Schwartz is the media darling. She's working in synthetic biochemistry, molecular biology, coming up with all sorts of fascinating stuff. And she enrolls in that class, uh, tries to make friends even with her assistant, which is Adrian Julius, and then uh, also joins, makes roommates, which is Caro Cult, who's a rich heiress and very bored and very much into partying. But the real show stealers are Sebastian Jacob and Jing Jiang, who are doing crazy personal experiments and coming up with weird stuff all the time. I mean, plants that light up and stuff that goes into their bodies and does weird stuff. It's just fabulous stuff. And I think the
Yeah.
first two or three episodes, that's all that you can kind of keep track of. And then it starts to get interesting because she kind of has hooked up with the assistant and then meets him and his roommate, which is also another key role played by Thomas Pren, and then how things develop. She obviously also has something, a kind of a childhood trauma that is bothering her. So there's flashes of that coming at different points in time. And even more interestingly, there's flashes of the future coming in all the time as well, where she's taking a train ride where weird stuff is happening. So it's a real mix of things happening and keeps you hooked right from minute one with, like I said, the other two roommates providing the humor element in that sense.
Yeah, they are actually delightful
Yeah.
with the stuff they come up with, the things they do. It's pretty fast paced and edge of your seat action, yeah. And things like you want to keep up with, some things you don't understand why, how, but that's why it's pretty intriguing and you get involved.
Thomas Kretschmann, by the way, is the rich heiress's father, who kind of is also
Has a key role.
quite interesting in his own way.
Yeah.
And I think the dynamics between the two women, the professor and Luna Wedler, are just fascinating to observe.
Yeah.
Uh, Luna Wedler really carries the title role extremely well. I mean,
Yeah,
she's very
she's
engaging. She's very authentic,
a
true,
good fit with
a
that kind
good
of a
fit
role.
with that role.
Ah,
So,
yeah.
what would you
I was debating between six and seven. Seven.
seven?
It's very interesting, and then somehow I kind of zoned out in the sense because I didn't understand much. I mean, why, how? So then,
I think there are very fascinating questions raised by the show as to
yeah,
how far would you go with technology? Where do you draw the line? And isn't that such a slippery slope?
yeah,
I mean, cloning now we kind of take for granted to a degree, but and that's not what this show features, so there are no spoilers here. But
yeah.
there are several places where it's like, where do you draw the line, right? Even if the intent is noble, is that okay? And I think this show really forces you to ask yourselves those questions and think of what the answers would be, which is why I would go with a rating of 8 for the first season and then probably 7 for season 2.
Yeah.
That would be
So I'm
probably.
seven and six.
But a fascinating show in German, very crisp, thrilling, totally different kind of setting. So do let us know what you think. Thanks.